In this exercise, we'll sketch multi-view drawing of this object on paper. The size of the object is represented by the grids on the surface of the body. It'll be convenient if a square grid paper is used and match the number of grids. First, we need to decide which view direction will be the front view. There are a few guidelines in choosing the best front view, which will be discussed in the next lesson. In this exercise, choose the direction indicated as front in the figure. If the part orientation is given, deciding the front view determines the rest of the views, such as the side views and the top view. The second step is to construct a bounding box. A bounding box is the smallest box that encloses the object. Instead of sketching the details of each view, we want to sketch the bounding box first. An advantage is that the layout of the views can be easily made by sketching the bounding box first. The size of the paper is limited, and all the views must fit the paper. The views of the box will be rectangles. Sketch the rectangles with correct alignments and fit the paper nicely. Then, sketch the details of each view using the rectangles as guidelines. In this case, the size of the bounding box is 12 by 8 by 10 grids. Sketch the front, right side, and the top view of the bounding box by sketching the three rectangles. Make sure they are aligned horizontally and vertically. If the size of the box is too large or too small for the paper, scale the rectangles. Spread out the views evenly in the paper. Once the bounding box is sketched, we can start sketching the details of each view. It'll be easier to sketch the faces that are on the surfaces of the bounding box. Starting from the front view, find the surfaces that are on the front bounding box surface. In this case, the surface A and B are on the bounding box surface. Sketch the surface A and B in true shapes. A is a rectangle in the lower left corner of the bounding box in the front view. The surface B is on the lower right corner. Similarly, find a planar face on the right side of the bounding box. In this example, the surface C is on the bounding box. Sketch the rectangle at the bottom of the right view rectangle. Do the same for the top view. Surface D is on the bounding box surface, and sketch it on the top view in the top left corner. Once all surfaces that are on the bounding boxes are sketched, find the surfaces that are adjacent to the surfaces that are already sketched. In this case, surfaces E, F, G, and H are adjacent to faces A, B, C, and D. Because these surfaces are adjacent to already sketched faces, it'll be easier to locate them and sketch the faces. Repeat the process and sketch all surfaces. Next, sketch all hidden lines with the hidden line font. Finally, do not forget adding center lines and center marks for the holes and cylinders.